do you lose when you cook it?
Good question. Depends upon different vitamins. So there are certain vitamins which are sensitive to the light, for example, vitamin C and stuff. So the best thing is to cook it, not overcook it, and don't throw away that extra water, especially if you're doing dals or especially making those soups and stuff. I would include that into our water again into our meals. But again, the idea is not to overcook it as well. Buy vegetables and fruits that last longer. For example, apples, oranges, and vegetables like potatoes and stuff. Again, that lasts longer. So again, the idea is to prevent any waste. Certain nutrient claims also I want you to be aware of. A lot of time we come across that says fat-free. Now fat-free is not exactly fat-free. It has less than 0.5 grams of fat per serving. When you come across a product that says light, it's basically less than 50% of the regular fat. That's what it means. Reduced fat, it's less than 25%. And when it comes to low fat, food is less than 3 grams of fat per serving.
Yeah, but the more processed and the more low fat, you want to say the process by which they make the low fat is more harmful to you.
Good question, because the thing is, when you look at a regular food versus let's say a low fat food, thing is, if you take out one nutrient, you have to put something back to maintain the same taste and consistency. So you may find when you compare a regular versus a low fat version, a low fat version may have a higher carbohydrate compared to your regular.
Put more sugar.
Yeah, fillers in it.
Sodium, if you're choosing for sodium, remember that, look for less than 400 milligrams. As I said that, a lot of times frozen entrees especially, not frozen vegetables, frozen entrees will have around 800, 1200 milligrams of sodium per serving because salt is the best preservative. When you think about low sodium, what it means is it has to have less than 140 milligrams per serving. A lot of times we come across products, especially soups, which say reduced sodium, that means it has less than 25%. The tip is to pay close attention to the nutrition facts label. Take time to look at that label, what's behind, if you have that food with the label.
So how honest are those labels?
The thing is with the label, before the food is introduced, they have to have it approved for the FDA before it's introduced. Look for 100% whole grain products, again 100% whole wheat or 100% whole wheat crackers if you're looking for. If you're looking for something with fiber, at least 3 grams of fiber per serving. Just a small thing is, basically the idea is to add more color to our plate. That means more variety in fruits and vegetables, the more phytochemicals you're getting naturally. The last one. Yeah. And if you're looking at baked, again look for something which says low fat or whole grain, for example, chips. Look for low fat or let's say baked chips. Low fat, for example, microwave popcorn is an example. Dairy, choose low fat, 1% skim, and low fat or fat-free yogurt. Again, it decreases the amount of saturated fat basically. And these are some references. One of the very good websites to go to get more information is diabetes.org. It's the American Diabetes Association. And again, I would recommend because it has a lot of updates. It has a lot of the latest research. You have the CDC as well. You have myplate.gov as well, which allows you to then look at the latest guidelines and stuff as well. So any questions?
I heard wheat has a lot of gluten, which makes you gain weight and have arthritis.
Yes, and I will definitely specify on this one. Gluten is a protein in wheat. Now, unless you have a food allergy towards gluten, you really shouldn't be avoiding wheat. Okay. Gluten is only for people who specifically have something called a celiac disease, and they have a food allergy for gluten, where they cannot consume that gluten and it produces allergy symptoms. Then it's okay to actually take out that gluten avoid. But again, for people, normal people, if you don't have an allergy, there's no reason why you shouldn't consume. Any other questions?
Guys, 1 month up. Anything white, avoid it. Avoid it, that's it.
Sugar, salt, maida.
Anything white.
So how much like almonds, how many?
should be about
7 to 8
In the moderation.
per serving. Like, for example, if you're using it with the fruit, I would just have 7 to 8. Instead of like we have like handful, right?
Not,
Just 7 to 8. That is the serving size for the nuts. Okay, good question. Organic and non-organic. Now, organic, and it's basically how different foods, or for example, different plants and things are produced. Okay. My take on organic is that unless it's something, a fruit that you can peel off, for example, bananas and things, you can peel off. It's okay to have non-organic. If you have an apple and you can basically scrape off that skin, you can consume. That's okay to have.
well, I would like to thank
Okay, thank you.
and keep you in the future also if you have any question, I think keep you available for SEWA members.
And I have my cards over there. Feel free to take my cards. If you have any questions or you want to do any consults, and you can do it.
Go ahead, Ashok.